it's a Gorp time. It's time for Gorp. Hey, long time, been a while. Miss you, kiss you.
Missed you guys too.
Welcome back to the show. What is this? We're gonna call this season 3, or the reopening, or the
Season
rebranding, or
Season 3, the reopening. That sounds like a horror movie.
the glow up.
No. The glow up sounds a lot nicer than the reopening.
The glow up of Gorp, kids. My name is Josh. Welcome back, Maya, of course,
Hi, thanks guys for having me.
and the man in the hat, Fry. I mean,
We're excited. Josh's show is now taking on like a theme. We got 12 episodes coming this year. We're kicking it off in March. Maya is now a permanent cast member. So welcome to the dark side of the Sad Fan. This is where we
had messed up feelings and thoughts. Sick thoughts.
This has definitely been the most edited show we've ever had in Sad Fan history. And we've had the most criers as well.
Yep. I say man in the hat because he's wearing a hat, but also whenever there was a traffic issue when I was a kid, my dad would always say there's a man in a hat a couple blocks away directing traffic just to mess with him. So he said, "There's a man in the hat," you know? So Fry is going to be the man who's telling us what we're talking about here or there. We got something a little different, something a little bit new. We're going to stay with the semi-random topics more or less, depending on if we want to go topical or not. But let's Fry have a elaboration at the moment.
No, here it goes. You guys ready? Here comes the Mixamizer. Are you ready for a Mixamizer? It's gonna randomize everything. Mixamizer. All right, and our first topic this week comes to us from, we're gonna call it Missouri because I don't remember where this happened, but we need thoughts and this needs elaboration. Uber driver shows up to pick up passenger with the child in the passenger seat.
Like their child?
Like their child was in the passenger seat when they showed up to pick up the folks that ordered an Uber.
Oh, what's the problem here? I mean...
Is that your honest response? Run away.
Wait, was it the passenger's kid just happened to be in the car? Or the driver?
No. The Uber driver.
What are you doing with Steven?
Yeah.
Hey, Dad. No, I mean...
He offered me a baby Ruth.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's not ideal, but take your kid to work day, and you know what? You know, like people have.
Take your kid to work day. Get the Uber, Johnny.
Sometimes you got a messed up situation. Like today, I was supposed to drop him off at his mom's house, but his mom's being kind of a bitch right now, so he's coming to work with me, and we got to make that money, or else we're not gonna buy them Ninja Turtles for you later, kid. So you want to come on a ride? It'll be fun. No, it'll be fun. Bring your Switch.
Do you think this kid's in like the 90s? Saying Ninja Turtle.
It could have been Daddy's being a little bitch right now. Okay, like it works both ways.
I don't know. I mean, it's of course it's not ideal, but it's not like he's like running a crane. He's just driving a car. I don't know.
He's running a crane. Why is the comparison to your Uber is a crane operator?
It's not dangerous to be in a car. I mean, there's always risk when you're driving people around. You never know. You've seen the videos, but like that's just his kid, and maybe it was an off day.
I like how you said it's not, and then you just went on to the next part because it is dangerous in the car, depending on who's driving the car.
Yeah.
So what's your reaction though, Josh? Like
who you're picking
the Uber
up
shows up. They show up with a kid that you just get in, no questions asked. You're just like, well, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to get where I'm going, man. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I wouldn't care. I might have some thoughts of concern for the kid. Do I tip extra?
Yeah.
A little something extra for the kid. Nah.
I'm just saying, you might feel like compelled if there's a little kid in the front
Maybe
seat.
That's what it is. You know, it's like
just chucks you a juice box, like in the backseat. Juice.
It's like the unhoused person with the baby pit bull. Like, yeah, he's getting that extra $5.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Little extra Finsky.
What about you, Maya? You're getting in the car too, Maya? Like, you're just getting in, no questions asked? Like, this is happening, here we go.
Okay, look, don't judge me. I would probably open the door and be like, what's this kid doing in the car? I didn't order like is it a 2-person job? Because you never know, right? It could be like a Benjamin Button situation where they just look really young, but in reality they're like really old. How am I supposed to know if that's an actual thing or not? What do we know to be true? There's so many things out there. So
Anything can be anything.
it could be anything.
I mean, in this world, it seems.
Right? So I'd probably be a little off guard, and then how old is the kid though? Like, is he young enough to be in the front seat?
I'm glad we have a line. Maya is like establishing parameters. All right. My ages of acceptance 0 to 7. Over 7, we're asking questions.
I mean, my thing is when I go in an Uber driver, I want them to have good music. And if they're the type of person that like, I don't want my kid to listen to curse words while we're driving, then I can't get an Uber.
On the bus go round and round, baby shark do do.
No, that would be I would not get in the car.
If we're listening to children's music, like now that's what I call music kids bop. Like, nah. That's
where you draw the line.
Like I took an Uber once, and I'm gonna have a lot, but this one time I took an Uber, it was a married couple, and they were just both retired, and that's what they do. Like they do it together, and
that's even weirder. Like, because they're banging in that car when you're not in it. Like,
oh no,
you just definitely got into a car. Like,
somebody's got to get it,
and they are right where you sat. You sat in butt sweat.
Oh no.
Been there. It's okay.
No.
I like Josh's line of demarcation though. It doesn't even have to be that there's a kid in the car. It's like, all right, if you're gonna play terrible music, I'm not getting in this Uber.
I mean, Maya called it, yeah.
I mean, I was the type of kid that my dad listened to Wu-Tang Clan in the car while I was in the car. So for me, if you have a kid that's listening to Baby Shark or Barney or some crap, I'm sorry, I'm not getting in the car and having that in my head 24/7. Like,
now that seems to be an issue for you, Fry. Like, why did you bring it up? Did the kid get arrested or something, or why does this even make headlines?
I don't know. I think the person probably filmed it and it like went viral somewhere in some backwoods city or state, and now we're talking about it. But I do think it needs elaboration. Like, am I to say, oh, did your parents pay for this? And then the kid goes, nah. And then I'm like, oh, your dad has Zeke driving Nissan Sentra black?
Mm.
Like, where do I go from here? Like, okay, I don't know why his name is Zeke. That was a random name. I felt like it was antiseptic to just say Zeke. I didn't want to, like, dime out any ethnicity there, so I just said Zeke. Is Zeke just... Is it
We're
like
on Ezekiel?
Is Zeke ethnically androgynous enough for me to go with? But like honestly, I wouldn't. I would be more like in Maye's lane where I'm kind of like trying to figure out the situation here. What's the sitchy? What's going on here? How'd this kid get in your car?
Man.
First of all,
how'd he get
whose
in?
child is this?
Is it really yours?
Yeah.
Did you kidnap this child?
The kid's like,
Am I an accomplice? If I get in this car, am I now an accomplice?
has to help me sign back behind you.
What
There's a bomb on the car.
Isn't there like a thing when a woman's like in danger, like the angel shot or the fist thing or something?
Yeah.
What if he does that thing? Like, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who this kid is. He's not on my little Uber sheet to check for kid.
Or if he just never breaks eye contact with you the whole time.
That's so weird. No, stop staring at me. Like,
that reminds me of those old station wagons where the seat faced out the back, and you just got some random person staring at you while you're driving.
Yeah. Hi.
What am I supposed to do with this? No, I don't know. I felt like it needed elaboration, so it went on the topic sheet.
I just feel like I'm not a parent, but my parents were parents, and
obviously they were your parents. But
I've been in situations similar to this. Like, okay, well, you're coming with me, and okay, I mean, get some culture for the day. I don't know. Sometimes you have
errands.
No, yeah, obviously errands, but like you get as a child of perhaps single parents or whatever, you get sometimes put in situations that are not ideal, but they're not really that big of a deal.
Could you imagine, like, if they dug up our past, like, from the 90s? My parents would have been in jail. It's like my great-grandmother, who had me, like, looking for cans in dumpsters, like aluminum cans, because I was small enough to get in and get out of the dumpster. Like, that's jail time. You know how many times I was in a shut car with the windows rolled up on a hot summer day? Like,
Man.
that was, like, when I started seeing all this stuff, I was like, what's the big deal? You lose a couple brain cells here and there. It's going to happen.
Nah.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
I wonder
where
why.
are we at?
Sometimes my dad would leave me in the car, me and my brother, when he went to the grocery store. You know, just in and out.
Yeah.
And I always wondered, like, why is he leaving us in here? But I know now, as an adult, like, he didn't want us, like, saying, "Oh, can we have the cereal? Can we have the candy? Can we have the? Can we have?" He just wanted to get the milk and the Gatorade and get home. You know,
Yeah. Get out.
in the frames, yeah.
Yeah. I think my dad really regretted the one time he took me and George to take your kid to work day. He kind of took like a bonus kid because I was his godson.
Took a bonus kid. Who's that? It's my bonus kid.
Yeah. So it was really, really bad. Before he was used to me just like following, being attached at the hip. But then we started playing with the elevator. We snuck into somebody else's office, saw those little stress squeeze thingies, and it was me. It was like Kenny from South Park, and his like neck was about to fall off. And then Jord complained about pizza, and then I was pissed off because that means they're not going to get us pizza.
Because he complained.
Because he complained.
Yeah.
But no,
You
they
totally
just
missed
made
the
him
opportunity to
cucumber
go, "Oh my God,
sandwiches.
they
Yeah,
killed
with no
Kenny."
crust. I'm like, I hate you, kid.
Man, I hate it when kids, like other kids, ruin the status quo or the ecosystem of the, you know, like
Of
we
kidness.
might get treats later or whatever. You're really messing this up for me, man. Anyway, all right, hit us with something new, fresh and
The
fresh
peanut
and funky
allergy
fry.
kid, so you have regular M&Ms
Yeah.
instead of peanut M&Ms. The Mixamizer, here it goes again. This one comes to us from Maya.
Oh,
It was an accident, and it got written down on the sheet, and it got pulled. The cling meter.
The cling meter.
The cling meter. What do we gauge people on a date to see whether or not it's compatible based on their clinginess? And how do we dictate what clinginess is?
How clingy? How soon? How much? That sort of thing. You're holding my hand a little too fast, kind of thing. Like, I don't even know your middle name and your.
Johnson smacks his date's hand away.
no.
She goes to reach for his fingers.
No. What do you think this is?
Some kind of date or something? You
Yeah.
think you're the one, Shannon?
Shannon. Jesus.
Shannon.
Sorry,
Shannon.
First Zeke, now Shannon.
Zeke and Shannon. I like your list of just neutral names. What? Give me one more. Give me one more neutral name.
Kenneth.
Kenneth. These are all white names, dude.
Are they?
Yes.
They're ethnically androgynous.
No.
You've never met Black Ken?
Tell me a Mexican Shannon, please.
Shannon Sharp.
Oh.
I didn't know Shannon Sharp was Mexican. Anyway,
Oh, I thought you said...
I was like, you're right. He's not white. That is.
well, those recipes. The cleanliness. I don't know. I've had some experience with this. It reminds me of like love bombing. You ever heard of that term?
Yes, yeah. It was
Or
on
like-
the show Apple Cider Vinegar. I learned about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's where you like the first date's going so well, and we have such a strong connection, and like, and then like the next time around, it was just them going through something, and they're like, "No, sorry, I just had to get that emotion, and now I got my fix, so we're not." You know what I mean? Anyway,
Yeah, like schizophrenic. Like they're a schizophrenic dater.
yeah, like they have a
different
really
date
great
personalities.
manic first date, and then the next date, they're like repulsed by you somehow.
Yeah.
Or when they make rules for you, right? Like we're making rules on date one. We're making rules.
I feel like I'm being used as the poster child for this topic. Like, this is not a comfortable spot for me.
Oh,
It's
you're a rule maker.
Well, I don't think he
No.
watches, so you're good.
No.
I don't think he watches, so you're fine.
Probably not. Hopefully not. I did mention that I did mention your guys' podcasts, so
Oh.
hopefully he didn't listen to me.
So if you were planning on trying anything, I do know men. They do a podcast.
Like, you like movies? You should check this one out. Or you should check this one out. You like sports? I like sports. Check this one out.
I don't know. It is tough though. You don't really know, and people have like general guidelines for like their moves or whatever. Like for instance, supposing a date's going at least 75% well, I feel like at least like a polite kiss on the first date is a good signifier that things are gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
Can you demonstrate a polite kiss?
No. But not like the slobby and all that stuff, but that's a possibility. But I'm just saying, like,
No tongue, essentially. Like,
Nothing sloppy. I mean, we can if you want.
a little tongue, perhaps, if it's going well.
be there.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not a sex on the first date kind of person. I have been rarely, but I think first date, roughly a kiss on the cheek at the very least, or else it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if we are making plans to move in right away, that's tough, but I don't think that's
You're
happening.
walking through the mall to the movie theater, and
Yeah.
she's like, "I could see us with a sofa like that. That could be our sofa."
Yeah. So like
No.
more realistically, I have been on dates where like we're making plans for next summer. I'm like, whoa, hold on now. We're not gonna be going to see Green Day next summer. You know what I mean? Like let's hold on a second. Just calm down.
Green Day.
Well, I'm not going to see Green Day ever, but you know what I mean.
Maya, where's your cling meter at? Like stage, let's go just 1 to 3. Like, what's a 1 on the cling meter, and what's like a 3? 3 being the worst clinger.
Damn it. So I wouldn't even know where to number them because I have been on very few dates. I've had very few relationships. Why? Because I focused on myself more than I focused on anything else. School, work, whatever. But what I will say from experience now, right, being in my 30s, I feel like don't love bomb me. Say, oh, this song reminds me of you after like the first date and things like that. That would probably be a 3 because you're messing with my emotions at that point. You're making me think that the first date went super well to now little things are reminding you of me. So no, don't do that. I don't mind like, when it's, especially if it's like cold and you're getting walked to your car where the guy kind of like puts his arm around yours and kind of like loops it. That's like a 1 maybe on a first date. Yeah, like the old timey ones where they would walk like this, that kind of like, that's like a 1.
I had the voice too. Oh, Joe, you treat me so nice.
You're so nice. He's a nice guy.
Or like when they ask, oh, can I kiss you? That's like a 1 because they're asking, right? They're asking for consent and you're like, yeah, sure. Sure.
Whatever.
Let's see. I'll get this part out of the way. And I like text messages. It doesn't have to be throughout the whole day. It could be like, good morning, hope you have a great day, or good night, hope you had a great day, whatever. I like those things, and then I know that you're trying to communicate, and I like communicators.
Send me a text, good morning. I'll be like, shut up, Mom. How dare you? You're gonna get an emoji response. Thumb up.
But what I don't like
yet. You think you're being cute by texting me before I wake up, nerd?
Yeah.
I haven't been in a relationship in a very long time that wasn't my marriage, so I don't know how these things work.
I mean, you have a permanent dater. You can always go on little dates even though you're married.
Yeah, but like we've reached max cling meter.
Oh, that's true.
We're
There's
boss
no
level.
surpassing that.
No, I would say though, like date days, I did not enjoy PDA. I felt like that was somebody that was way too clingy. Like you're trying to possess me in public, and I don't enjoy that. I am not your possession. Like that.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like you might as well pee on me to mark your territory. If you're like gonna sit here and like be all over everything, like the backpack girl from the photo movie. with Joshua Jackson. Like, you're climbing up me like I'm a jungle gym in public and all this, and that's clingy to me. Does that make sense?
Well, I certainly don't like to I don't like to feel like I'm making other people uncomfortable. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, I might pull you in like, a nondescript place for a little smooching, but we're not going to be like
Full on, like,
on the bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You weren't that kid. You weren't that kid with his girlfriend on the bus, just
Oh, I
smooching.
have been when I was a drinker or in high school. Yeah. Yeah. But, regular state of mind, Josh. Yeah, I don't like making people uncomfortable in general. And I don't like that if I don't want to do it, you're angry at me. You ever had that? We're like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, what
I
do you
did
mean
have
what's
that.
wrong?
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh like that. I just sometimes when we're talking about these things, my imagination runs wild. And when Josh was like, I don't like making people uncomfortable, so I figured like now he's got this image of people are so uncomfortable that he's making out with whoever he chooses to make out with, and they're like just staring at him,
Like the kid in the taxi.
right here, like. So that's what popped into my head. It was just like somebody just right next to you, staring at you, making out.
oh my god, no.
So where do you guys fall on the cling meter in your minds?
Oh, like personally?
Yeah,
I
be honest with yourself.
I have been clingy, but I don't think I'm there anymore. I think I'm probably a 5 on the clingo.
Oh, out of 1 to 10, so you're median.
I'm a healthy amount of cling, and I know when it's time to not do that stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I would say younger me, probably about a 6 if we're gonna go from like 1 to 10. But now older me, I'm like a 5 or a 4. Because for me it's not necessarily I have to talk to you about these long obsessive conversations every day, all day. No, I just want you to know I'm gonna check in and be like, hi,
Mhm.
hope you had a great day. Gonna send you affirmations, and then that's it. And then if you want to continue to have a conversation, we can. I welcome it. I do like phone calls. I don't necessarily just like texting, but I feel like a lot of people nowadays only want to do texting. So I like a healthy medium.
You got a snap?
I like a
Hit me up with
phone
your
call
snap.
too. I like a phone call, and I think,
I hate when they ask for snap.
ew.
Yeah.
I don't
Hi,
even have a
Snapchat.
snap no more.
That's so popular in Europe.
I
Really?
think forcing it is my issue. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if it's organic, that's cool and all, but like, for instance, I'm a good morning texter, but I might miss one once in a while. That it's a hard, fast rule now. That's a problem. Now I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, you
know
have
what I
the
mean?
expectation, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like don't.
Make it a requirement. Like,
Yeah.
don't make it a requirement.
Now it's not fun. Now it's
Yeah.
not romantic. It's a job, and I'm not playing.
Josh
that
is the
game.
teacher that takes away the pizza, by the way. If you were wondering, we just found out. If the kid asks, are we having pizza? Now we're not.
No
No,
pizza.
we're not.
No.
So you're like the lady who gave Jordan the cucumber sandwiches. Like, it just.
That sounds pretty good.
I mean, I'm sure they were great, but the pizza was there, man.
But you know what that means? Once you get to cucumber sandwiches, it's time to talk about something else. What do you got, Fry?
Go back to the mixometer. Deodorant lists. We are on deodorant lists. Really quick background on this. It's when do you tell somebody they have a booger in their nose or they should go put on some deodorant? They stanky.
Oh.
How do you go from a booger in your nose to you need deodorant?
It's hygienic stuff. Like,
Yeah.
okay. When is
you
the
tell
time
somebody.
to make mention of the hygienic stuff? Oh, boy. I had a roommate that didn't have a sense of smell.
They do exist. Don't laugh. They do exist.
Funny the way this is just immediately this has been on his mind.
Oh, boy. Man, it's okay. So it's it's the day off, so we're just like sitting around, drinking coffee in the morning. We're playing a game together, playing the video games. You know what I mean? And then like in between a session, he'd get up and get some more coffee. Walks right by me. He's just wearing boxers, and he shit his drawers, dude. Like
Oh no, you smell like
it's that old funk. You know what I mean? And it would like get inside your mouth, like Oh God!
Yeah.
Every time he walks by, like, oh man! And I let it happen twice, but the third time he got up, and I'm like, dude, you gotta do something, man. Like this is bad. And he's like, you can smell that?
You can.
Yes,
And I'm
I
like,
can.
you're aware that there might be a problem and you haven't addressed it? You know what I mean? Like for me, if I have like even the slightest amount of like if I know I've been stressed and I sweat a little bit, I know I smell a little bit sour and I'm gonna try to work on that. You know what I mean? Wash my neck or something.
Wash my neck.
Yeah, you know, because like stress sweat is different than sweat.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Like I'm a
Kebab
smoker.
sweat is
I
different.
smoke cigarettes, and I'm like really careful with that because I don't want to smell like a trash can. So
Mhm.
like I smoke in a way that would hopefully prevent that sort of thing, and I don't smoke
What does
certain
that look like?
cigarettes because you like a fucking French guy, right? Keep it over here. You know what I mean? And when I blow far out. I don't let it just like cascade over my face like an asshole. Anyway, you try to put a smoker's jacket on. You know what I mean? Like this is what I'm wearing when I'm smoking. I take it off, and now I don't smell so bad. Anyway, I've been told sometimes that they've noticed I don't smell like a smoker, so that makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you just smoked? I can't tell. That's great. I'm so happy. Maybe they're lying. Who knows?
Maybe they're lying. Could be.
But yeah,
Could be lying to you.
I'm self conscious of breath. I'm self conscious of deodorant for sure. Boy, I tried that native deodorant one time.
Oh, don't knock on that.
Don't do it. You need the aluminum, dude. I don't care what it does to you.
I tell people this all the time. You're only gonna live to 70 years or more if you're lucky. Look, Josh, look up.
Ah! Does it work? Does it work for you? It don't work for me.
This one works for me. Some scents go away hella fast, but this one works for me.
Josh, you never actually hit. When do you tell somebody? When do you build that comfortability up? You went straight to roommate, smell like ass. But like,
Oh yeah, so he was
It
like
took him twice to say something. To be fair,
he's like one of my best friends, and I was able to tell him like, dude, you got to get that ass off you, you know. But like, there's levels to it. I'm pretty quick to point out the boogies, or you got a little mustard on your nose or whatever. Not so much BO. I'm kind of I kind of just let that one be. Usually,
do you just sit in it? Like,
I kind of just let him have it. You know what I mean?
okay, all right.
I'm not.
My
No. If you smell, I'm gonna wait like a minute and see if like you can smell that you smell.
You can't smell what they. Yeah.
But most of the time people can't, especially if like I don't know if you guys have noticed people who take medication oftentimes don't know that they smell. Because it's not just their body odor that it naturally releases, but they also take medication which can make it considerably
Oh,
worse.
you mean like some medications can mess up your pH or whatever? And
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so they don't necessarily smell the funk. They probably smell them like the medication.
Uh,
So normally I'll be like, "Hey, do you want some perfume? You want something? I have
Uh.
Febreze." Like usually
Do you
it'll
want
be
some
along
perfume?
perfume.
I
You want
have
some Febreze?
Febreze. Was a weird way to follow up.
Well,
Do
if it's a
you want
guy,
some
he's not gonna
perfume?
want girl perfume. Like he's not
Let me
gonna
spray
want
you with
gas.
this Ocean's Crest.
Have the fresh linen. Do you want the fresh linen?
If you spray me with something that's coming out of a spray bottle, you have insulted me effectively.
Sorry. Like I'll do it where you're not looking. You just
That's even better. Like the sneak squirt.
yeah. They come out of nowhere from the corner, and then just walk away. I think for women it's a lot different because oftentimes like when we're eating out, if you're wearing lipstick and your lip touches right here, you might have that line from the lipstick. So if you're with a friend and you don't say anything, you're the a-hole who didn't say anything and they're walking the rest of the day with just that line right there. So you have to come and be like, hey, you have like right here, and then they have to go clean it. So like that for boogers and that type of stuff, I'm really quick to be like, hey, clean it up. You have a lot that's going on over here.
Have you ever had to address one of your lady friends down unders? Because sometimes.
Oh yeah, I had one of my friends from high school. We went to Mexico to go visit my family. It was her first time ever in Mexico.
You just narrowed it down so much.
Just not. I don't talk to her anymore.
Narrowed it down. This friend I have from high school, we went to Mexico together. Jan.
It was Shannon. Jan. There you go.
Jan. Like with the humidity and then with all of that going on, like, no, you have to say something. I'm not going to just be here in this heat and then have that like smell linger. Absolutely not. You're at that point, go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Go clean yourself up. And then we can carry on with our day.
Carry on with our day.
You have to do it nicely, because then if you say it in the wrong way, you offend somebody, you know?
I remember in middle school, my middle school was mostly black. And after basketball, PE, or whatever, we all go in for science class. And then there's this one lady, she would always come in the room and be like, "Y'all musty." And she was right. We were musty.
That's fair. Especially if you're a teenager. I think I'm kind of like direct in this way. Like if you got a stain on your shirt, I'm like, yo, you got a stain on your shirt. You got a booger in your nose. And if I don't know you very well, I'll do like and hope you pick up on what I'm doing.
You got some Coke?
Look at
You got some Coke?
Yeah. The radar went up.
We doing this?
But I'll do, and I'll be like, booger. Booger. You got booger. Like try to do it subtly, and then if they just don't do subtlety well, I will point that out too. I'll be like, subtlety lost on you, huh? Like you needed to point it out. The Josh's nether regions comment was funny because we've all been around. I think all of us have been around the person that doesn't like. I'm not knocking how you groom. Live your life how you want, but you got to understand. Sometimes it looks like you got an airbag in your pants. All right, like it looks like you got a chinchilla growing out of there, and like it's just some is nice. So it doesn't look like you've got Cousin It growing out of your pants. Like all that stuff is relevant. So groom yourself how you choose, but like understand that is the aesthetic you're putting off. You look like you have a Pomeranian in your pants, and maybe clean that up a little bit. It's mean.
How much pubic hair do you need for that to happen? I've never.
Science experiment.
No,
but you've never been around somebody that you're like, it looks like they have the great tidal wave of hair coming out, and you're like, come on, man. Like you deal with it, you groom how you want. Everybody's built their way, but you don't ever hint at like, hey, you ever heard of Manscaped?
I've never seen that as an issue. I mean, like, I've never noticed someone who clearly has a bulge due to dense pubic hair. It sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot.
The Amazon forest.
You gotta be really coarse and thick. Like, what are you looking at down there?
I actually do remember. This is a foreign exchange student who definitely doesn't watch. They were a student from a country that I won't mention because I don't want to seem a certain way. But yeah, that was the first time I noticed it. We had like water polo or whatever, and she jumped out of the pool, and I was like,
Oh,
like
no.
as a high school student, yeah. So things like that, and then of course, out here in Europe, it's Speedo country. So you see a lot of.
No. If that's the case, I understand what you're saying now with that. Yeah.
So sometimes if you're a friend, aren't you being a better friend by letting them know, like
you are?
I think so. Back to the deodorant stuff. I will always point out deodorant, and like if you get offended, like you're mad that I told you that you didn't smell good. That's a weird thing to be mad at. You should be grateful.
Right. I'm giving you a chance to fix this.
Yeah.
Like, or my move is, bro, I can't let you go through this thing like this. Like, if we're going out, I can't let you walk in like this. In reality, I'm being selfish because you are now associated with me as we have arrived together, and I can't have that stank associated with me walking in.
Yeah,
so
dude. Might get on me.
Yeah. People are going to assume that I'm like you and that I don't groom properly and that I don't take the proper precautions with perspiration, No.
Yeah, it's you got to be aware. Like, you surround yourself with people and, like, be grateful. Like, be grateful that somebody lets you know, like, yo, that just happened and it's not good. Yeah. And then Josh's roommate will go, you smelt that? And you'd be like, our next door neighbor smelt that, dude.
Our next
Yeah,
topic.
it was hot ass. Oh,
Josh, are you ready for the final topic of today?
yeah.
And here comes the Mixamizer. Never again. We'll leave this one to the universe. Never again. Interpret it how you want, Josh, but lead us.
Never again. Golly. Trying to think of something embarrassing that happened to me. Shit. I'm kind of drawing a blank here. Give me a couple of seconds. You got something, Maya? You got a never again?
Yeah, I'm never listening to a friend again when they say just put the water in the tank of the toilet and then flush. So I went to
What?
I went to Puerto Rico over December for my birthday month,
Mm.
and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, they had a massive power outage, which also caused a water outage as well, because the I don't know what's called in English, las cisternas didn't have pressure, so
Mhm.
the water just wasn't getting to the residences or bed and breakfasts and hotels and stuff. And they gave us a bucket. So what they did was they used the pool water and they gave us a bucket of water to put in the toilet for us to be able to flush.
Oh, gotcha.
And my friend suggested to put it in the tank because that's what they do at their apartment complex when there's issues. And I said, no, I think it's kind of like Mexico where you have to put it directly in the toilet bowl.
Alright.
Yeah, and she's like, no, no, no. I'm like, I've done it before. I'm pretty sure that that's how it works. And she put it in the tank, and then I had to go back to the pool and do the walk of shame, essentially, because I know that the guy who gave me the bucket's thinking I'm a moron by that point, and I used the
Or you
bucket.
got big doo-doos and you clogged up.
Yeah. So never again will I listen to someone else about where to put the bucket of water.
Do you need my help? No, no.
Nope. We are done taking suggestions from you. We know how this worked last time.
Yeah. Definitely, for sure, never again. Long distance relationship. I think that doesn't need a lot of explanation. Like it just doesn't work. Stop it. Just don't. Just don't.
It requires more explanation. What led you to that decision to never again?
Well, you have one long distance relationship that doesn't quite work out well, and then like due to different circumstances, I've ended up having three. In different regards, different ways, but
One
it
each
always,
decade.
yeah, one each decade, pretty much, yeah. And it's just it's performative. It's not fun.
Performative. I knew what you meant, but again, my imagination, and now you got my head, and we're
Yeah.
performing. Now,
He's
now
on
what are you doing?
stage, dressed like
No, worse, my A.
Oh no.
What do those panties look like? You know she's in her sweats, Josh, but she's describing like the panties you want to hear about, and she's like, "What are you wearing? You got a mustard stained shirt, mustard stained shirt," and you're like, "Yeah, I'm shirtless."
Yeah, she's in her
So-
sweatpants with a messy bun. Yeah.
There you go.
It can be emotionally performative. You present yourself one way, but then we're in the same place together finally, and you realize, oh, this is not the same person I've been talking to since however long, and blah 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 blah. It's fantasy. It's all make up, and you're hurting yourself. You're hurting the other person without even trying to. So just don't do it. It enforces a lack of honesty. You know what I mean? So, on a lighter note, never again eating a whole bag of fish sticks with mayonnaise to dip. That was
Ugh.
the most disgusting weekend I've ever lived.
Did your stomach hurt after?
My stomach was indescribably bubbly.
Oh, never
And
mind.
I was so thankful that I was the only one in the apartment that weekend. Because it was a back and forth, and it was a color that I can't describe. And
God.
it was a constant. It was a constant. I thought, oh, I'll be like the English chaps and dip it in mayonnaise. And I haven't had a fish stick since. I don't like seafood in general too much anymore. And never dipping shit in mayonnaise again, dude. Oh my god.
So no Netherlands for you.
It was delicious when it was. I felt like such a posh gentleman. Ruined it.
He goes to England to go visit you, and they give him fish and chips, and he's gonna be, what is this? This is a joke.
It's Germany now. It's Germany now. He's got to come out to Germany.
He's gonna go to Germany. What is this? Hold on. You better not give me mayonnaise. No tartar sauce.
Why do you have him going full Jack Skeleton? What is this?
That's where my head went.
What's your never again, you old goofball?
So never again. I think I have a few never agains. I got quite a bit. Like I'm never again going on a drop zone. Like ever.
What's a drop zone?
I got like a ride that just drops you straight down. Like I don't enjoy that.
That's over.
Love those.
Yeah.
That's over.
You love those, my head?
Yes.
No, I'm done with those. Done. I got conned into going to one. Somebody told me a ride was like just a 3D show or whatever, so we got in line. It was Anna and I, and it was a Guardians of the Galaxy drop where the Tower of Terror used to be.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying, and I didn't like it, and I wasn't happy about it. Never again. Never doing that again. Other never agains. I if I can help it, I never again want to be in a fist fight. I'd like to never again.
I'll
like,
take
fight.
one. Give me one.
Just one more. This one, it's probably gonna happen with the way I talk shit, but
I'm not fighting you. Used to box.
the way I talk shit, like it's gonna happen at some point. But I do my best to avoid it.
I like how you skate over that Josh probably has somebody in mind who he would just like to get in a fight.
Well, I mean, like when I was a kid, one of our mutual friends loves to tell this story. We were probably 18 in the dorms, and for some reason, my drunken fight personality decided to be a 60-year-old man, and I yelled at the other guy, "I'll knock your block off."
Oh my god. You were a 60-year-old man.
Yeah. There's a never again. I'll never again say that.
You will.
Oh, here we go, Josh. This involves you.
Oh.
So back in the day, we were house sitting for a master sergeant named Eddie, and that was his real name, not one of my manufactured names. But we went to Walmart and we bought a bunch of Tony's $1 pizzas, and we made pizza sandwiches. I've never been so sick.
Oh,
like tummy ache city, because
Yeah,
we just
gurgles.
squirted ranch onto these dollar pizzas, and we bought an extra bag of like mozzarella, and we were mozzing them up. And then
you got the
Yep.
gurgles.
Well, that reminds me of a never again that same night. Never again drinking 30 Keystone Lights to myself in one day.
I mean, we've been there. We have.
Remember that?
absolutely been
Me
there.
and you
Yeah.
tallied it up. Like between us, we both drank 60 Keystones. Easy.
Yeah, it was not a smart night. Like there was a night where I had to go to work the next day, and we were playing drinking games in your dorm room, and I threw up, but I was so drunk I didn't know where I threw up, so I didn't find it till I got off work.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, I was looking for it, but I was still drunk in the morning. I was like, "Where is this throw up?"
Something about Mary type of shit.
No.
Oh
That's another
boy.
never again for me. I'm never getting drunk on the beach from a whole thing of medalla and a whole bottle of rum by myself. It's not
But-
a good combo.
But you are getting drunk on the beach again, like that. Will
Yeah,
happen.
but not
Yeah,
that
different
way.
stuff.
Yeah,
Different
different stuff. Maybe just the bottle of rum, because I mean, I played Sleep with Mary and Schmiel with my friend, and I schmealed the ginger. He got instantly cut from existence. Then I panicked because I didn't see him after I thought he went to the like actual water part of the beach, and I'm like, oh no, he drowned. That's on my conscience. And then next thing you know, we see him coming from like the food cart.
Not dead.
Not dead.
Not dead.
So, and then I'm crying in the Uber on our way back to the hotel because I am thinking that they threw away my food that I had from the previous night because I didn't put the do not disturb sign on there. And then I went on Bumble and messaged probably about 80 people, had 50 text messages the next day. It was just not a good time for me. So never again.
Not a good time. Well, that's pretty solid. I think as a closing thought, I have a segment I like to call "Sad Thought, Happy Thought." So here's your sad thought. Butterfly numbers are down 20% in the last 20 years. But here's your happy thought. There are people in this world whose job, whose life's work is counting butterflies. This has been a Gorp. My name is Josh. That's Maya. That's Fry. We love you. We'll see you soon. Come back next month when we talk about other things, other people named Shannon.
No way.